My parents like me. They think I'm sweet and they think I'm charming.
Ed and I met each other a little later in life. We both just always knew we wanted a family. So we went through about almost 6 years of fertility treatments, and then we're like, okay, we're done with this. And we went and got our foster license, and so that kind of started our journey.
Good job.
So we got a call early Friday morning, like 4 a.m. They pull up, and there's this little guy, with a binky in his mouth on a lanyard. There's no case managers, there's no people, and all they tell you is you have to be at court on Monday morning at this such and such time. We were really kind of clueless about what was to come.
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We are CASA of River Valley, which means we encompass both Will and Grundy counties, and we draw from the community volunteers to work with children that are in the foster care system that are abused and neglected. There's usually a variety of things that are coming into play that bring the child into the foster care system. That could be domestic violence between the parents, mental health issues on their behalf, substance abuse, poverty, which makes it that much harder for the child and the parents to get all of the services that they need to have a child return home or find their forever home.
Coming into the court system was culture shock. We called it the roller coaster. So the first time I met CASA was at that very first, they call it a shelter hearing. They were there every step of the way.
Anything we needed, basically. They could be like, hey, people have been through that. Don't worry about it. It seems overwhelming for you, but this is normal, or these things happen. So it helps to give you kind of a more of a safety net and feel more secure.
A CASA volunteer advocate is typically assigned one-to-one to a child or multiple children within a family. And part of their role as an advocate is to look out for the best interests of the child. That includes regularly visiting with the child once a month, writing court reports that we prepare to the judge prior to our court hearings, kind of explaining where things are at with the case, where things are at with the child, communicating regularly with those that are involved in the child or their parents' lives.
After about 10 months, his family situation got to be way too much, and it was time for him to transition to a new family. And it was really, really hard. It was probably the hardest thing that we ever went through. The court system is full of surprises, and just a few months later, they changed his goal to adoption. We were stunned and so excited to be reunited with him.
Right now, we serve hundreds of kids, but with more volunteers, we could serve so many more.
What do you say for the gift?
A lot of people think that CASA is actually financed by the state, and we're not. We are a completely separate, not-for-profit organization. If CASA didn't have donor support, we couldn't take on cases. There would be children that are left without that one-on-one support that they need.
Great.
I really don't know what we would have done without CASA. I mean, there were a couple of times on that roller coaster that we wanted to give up. I don't think that we would have persevered as new foster parents if we hadn't had them there. So today we're crazy, we're loud, just excitement and go, go, go.
Boston, look at me. Do you like this?
Boston is very comfortable in his skin. He's gregarious, he's full of life and just so confident, and he knows no strangers. When you first get married, you envision this child or children, and your family, and it's never what you envision in your head, but it's so much better because it's my family, and it's the journey brought us here. We went through so many seasons, but this is just perfect. I mean, it's the way it was meant to be.